Madame, Monsieur, bonsoir. Nous sommes jeudi le 11 mars 2021 et comme je vous l'ai promis, je sors ce soir avec une enseignante de musique que j'ai rencontrée à une conférence développementale. Elle viendra nous parler un peu de musique, c'est une Américaine. Elle va nous parler de la musique, elle va nous parler de la situation raciale aux États-Unis. Je vais essayer de la titiller, je vais essayer de la taquiner. L'émission se fera en anglais. Vous savez que le Cameroun est bilingue. Donc, l'émission va se dérouler en anglais. Hein, comme je vous l'ai dit, c'est une américaine. Et nous allons apprendre. Nous allons apprendre de ce qu'elle fait, de comment est-ce que la communauté africaine peut bénéficier de son expertise. Et c'est un peu ce que je vous ai promis depuis un certain temps. Faire venir des experts ici dans des domaines vraiment spécifiques afin que chacun puisse, ou alors chaque personne puisse partager avec vous ce qu'il ou elle sait faire et que l'on parte de là pour voir comment nous pouvons construire des êtres humains vraiment solides et absolument ambitieux. Donc, je veux jouer un petit jingle et après le jingle, nous allons, n'est-ce pas, introduire notre invité et avoir une petite causerie. OK? Donc, à tout à l'heure.
Rends service, mais n'oublie pas tes parents, car c'est à travers eux qu'on parlera de toi.
Je peux tout pardonner, même oublier, sauf le jour je t'ai donné naissance. Ça fait trop mal pour pouvoir oublier. Enfant chéri, oh, faut pas m'abandonner.
Si j'ai l'argent, je vais m'occuper de ma maman. Si j'ai l'argent, je vais m'occuper de mon papa. Et si j'ai l'argent, je vais m'occuper de ma famille. C'est ce qu'on dit lorsqu'on vit encore dans la galère. Le jour l'argent frappe à la porte, on oublie toutes ses promesses. Le jour l'argent frappe à la porte, on oublie tous ses amis. Ceux qui nous ont aidés à réaliser nos rêves les plus fous. Mais on devient fou et on se fout dans la capitale. On s'en fout des gens parce que maintenant on a de l'argent. On se joue les bandits, on s'adonne à tout ce qui est interdit. Avoir plusieurs partenaires pour satisfaire ta libido. Mais pendant ce temps, tes parents souffrent. Ta maman pleure, pleure, elle pleure. Et ton papa pleure, il pleure. Ta maman pleure, pleure, elle pleure. Et assise sous la pluie, elle pleure en disant
Je peux tout pardonner,
oh Lino,
sauf le jour je t'ai donné naissance.
on est là bébé, on est Sita Salomé.
Enfant chéri, oh, faut pas m'abandonner.
Ceux qui t'ont jamais aidé, c'est eux que tu fais des cadeaux. Ceux que t'as jamais connus sont tous devenus tes amis. Tu es toujours le premier à tendre la main aux autres. Pourtant auprès de toi, ta famille souffre. Le premier morceau de pain que ta mère attachait, et où t'allaitais, elle attache encore. Mais cela ne te dit rien, tu t'en fous de ses pleurs. Tu préfères donner des yeux pour qu'on parle de toi. Autour de toi, les gens ne font que t'encourager. Il n'y a personne pour te dire la vérité. Quand ceux qui t'aiment viennent te donner des conseils, tes suiveurs disent qu'ils sont jaloux de toi. Oh, ta maman pleure, pleure, elle pleure. Et ton papa pleure, il pleure. Ta maman pleure, oh, elle pleure. Et assise sous la pluie, oh, elle pleure en
Je
disant
peux tout pardonner,
ça fait trop mal au d'être oublié par son
sauf le
enfant.
jour je t'ai donné naissance.
Ah, maman.
Ça fait trop mal pour pouvoir.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Tonight, we are having a very special show, and it is going to be in English. I know my audience is typically Frenchy, but tonight we are going to be speaking in English because I have a guest, and my guest is a music teacher. She's an American. She was born here, and she only speaks English. I don't know how much she knows about French. So without further ado, I will ask the studio to bring her on the screen so that together we can start with our little talk. We will talk about music, we will talk about racism, we will comment the news, we will talk about what is going on. I'll just peek into her brain to have her share her opinion with all of us and what she can do for the African community as an American, beautiful, intelligent woman. So let me get her on the screen. Hello, Babs. How are you today?
I'm well, and you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for accepting my invitation.
Oh, no problem. I enjoy it. Thank you.
Yes. Before we start with anything, I would like you to say a word or two about you. How do you want my audience to remember you too? What do you think?
Well,
What do you want to share with them regarding you, your
well,
person?
okay. Well,
Yes.
my name is Babs Alexander. Well, Barbara Alexander, but my stage name is Babs Alexander.
Mhm.
I'm originally an opera singer, and yes, I sing in French.
Okay.
um, I own the Performing Arts Academy of Connecticut, and Arts in Connecticut is my nonprofit organization. I have another organization called the International Vocal Coach, where I teach students of all ages all over the world. If you want lessons from me, you'll be going to internationalvocalcoach.com, and you can be able to sign up for the master classes or individual private lessons. You can be able to get me there. Then I have a national company called Tutors for Teacher Certification, where we help teachers, non-certified teachers, pass a certification exam of their choice.
Wow. Wonderful. So for the coaching part, for the voice coaching part, you teach everyone like kids and adult?
Yeah, I teach from ages 3 and up. I have taught from even inside the womb because music is something that has that when you hear music, even before you're even born, it stimulates you and calms you down because you can hear the music, especially classical music. I was reading a study where it says that those who had been listening to classical music, like lectures and studies and things like that, or even while they were asleep, they performed 18% higher than a person who did not listen to that style of music. So music is very, very influential. I had a student when we were one of my early childhood programs. We had like a drum circle, and
Mhm.
one of my 2-year-old African kids, he outplayed the whole class. You would have
African
thought he
kids.
was in. Yes, he just, and I understand it was all diversified in there, but he
Yes.
came in and he heard those beats and he was I was like,
Yes. That's what we do over there.
absolutely, absolutely. So
That's what we do over
immediately you start learning music at a and it really isn't any style of music. You start learning music at a very early age. And by the time you turn 5, if you have been listening to it all that time, oh please, you're probably a little masterpiece, and be able to perform your trade well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But we will talk more about music later. We will
Mhm.
really get into music. We'll talk about music. We'll talk about how to get in touch with you and learn some music. But for
Yeah.
now, I just wanted to pick your brain on the news. The news
Mhm.
is currently dominated by the issue in England between
Mhm.
Harris and his wife. There is a race issue there. And did you watch portion of that interview with Oprah?
I did. I did.
You
I
did.
didn't get a chance to watch it all. I'm
The whole
looking
thing.
forward to seeing the sequel tomorrow night.
Right.
But definitely, I did get a chance to watch and hear how frustrated and how devastated she was, because reality is they centered the whole entire thing around. race, and his
Yeah,
love for his wife was so great that he had to pull her out of there so she can have a quality of life.
very nice. But as a black woman, do you think a black man can act like that, Harris, that young man? He left the kingdom for his wife.
He
Do you have any
did, he
experience of
did.
black men that can do that?
But you know what? That goes to show you money cannot buy you happiness. When you really want to be happy, you're going after what makes you happy. You're not going after how much money you can have. If that person is really making her happy, and she's making him happy, and they're happy together, then they're going to come together and do what they need to do in order to continue to do, I mean, to live a good quality of life. All they wanted to do was be together. But people are so busy with their early traditions and negativity, it makes you want to run away from that and just be able to enjoy life.
Exactly, exactly. But do you think that the action of Harris by standing by his wife and pushing away the family and saying, listen, this is my love, here's my child, there's nothing to negotiate here, do you think it's going to tone down the level of racism in America and England?
I'm not sure if racism will ever go anywhere ever in this world. However, these little peaks, these little peaks will make people stop for just a moment to say, hey, we can't even run away from it. I can quit the news studio. However, you can't run away from it. It's like right there. I'm going to be black forever. I mean, you can't just deep and dip me in bleach and turn me white. It is who I am. And it's just, and racism is going to be here. It's how we respond, react to this racism that we deal with, and how much can we stand up before they kill us or do anything negative to us, that change will then occur, or will someone just walk over it and it continue to happen? I have seen racism in school. I have seen racism in the workplace. I have seen racism everywhere, and I do appreciate in America that there is a set quality where you're not going to have to go through that 100% all the time. There is peaks and plains and different locations where you can go and be able to have a quality of life, which is why Meghan and Harry came to the U.S.
Yes. But why do you think they picked Oprah for that interview?
I
Because
believe,
it is another message to the world.
yeah, well, Oprah, being the billionaire she has always been admired and adored all over the world. That is the one newscaster that you cannot deny, and they picked the greatest African American woman in the
Yes.
US that
Yes.
could open the doors over in any country, which is
Yes.
why they chose her.
Yes.
Anyone else would be a neophyte compared to her.
True.
And if they didn't want it, I would have chosen her too,
Yes.
because she is the right person to ask the right questions, and she's going to be dignified how
Exactly.
she approaches the question, because we still, at the end of the day, no matter how many transitions you go through, you're still royalty. You cannot
Yes.
deny
No, you
King
can't.
Harry, Prince Harry. He is
True.
still royalty. So
Yes.
she was selective with her questions. She allowed them to answer what they were comfortable with. However, it was more than enough to know, hey, something wasn't right. But we all knew
Exactly.
something wasn't right, you
True.
know.
True. But how did you appreciate the anger of Piers Morgan that walk off a show because he tried to date the lady, and she went for the big guy. How do you appreciate that? Eh?
Well, you know, first of all, he was so angry.
Yes,
And he was going to show that racism color as I mean, he was going to show it. That card was popping up. Bing, bing.
he
You
did.
could not deny it. So, you know, but he played himself because now he looked really, really bad getting up, walking off the show. What right were you trying to, you know, she had already talked about how the tabloids was distorting things.
Mhm.
So now you're going to do in the middle of your own show, you're going to do this great dramatic act. So now we're looking at you. What's your problem? And
Exactly.
why would you do that? Do you even know what you've just done? So we're not looking at her, we're looking at you because now we see that there are some issues and that now we want to get to the bottom of your story.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
So I want to learn a little bit about your experience as a teacher, how you
Mhm.
saw the kids manifest racism. Because I know that when it comes to learning anything, learning music,
Mhm.
the kids have they don't look at the color. They are trying to get the concept, they are trying to understand what's going on. But
Right.
as a teacher, as a practitioner, as somebody that was rather in front of them, how did you minimize the race part, first of all, to allow all of them to feel comfortable learning and to really bring their best foot forward?
So this is a true story. I
Yes.
graduated from a HSBCU, which that means it means a historically Black college university, which was Jackson State University.
Mm-hmm.
After graduating from Jackson State, they had a minority recruiter to come
Mm-hmm.
down from Florida, Fort Myers, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting it out there.
Yes.
And I was recruited to go into one of their schools. And at the time, the school only had two Black teachers, and each class had almost 1,000 kids in each class. So you're looking at well over 4,000 kids at one high school. Huge. The high school is so big it looked like a college campus. Beautiful area,
In
but
Florida. In
the
Florida.
way, yes, in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and but the way we had to, and you know, they brought in a group. It was, I think it was like us. It was seven of us, seven
Mm-hmm.
Black teachers coming from several different HBCU schools
Right.
coming together. But immediately we could see the segregation, not integration, segregation. Yeah, they went in school together.
Among
I would
teachers.
sit there and watch among children. I
Okay.
would sit there and watch how they would come in and arrest kids because they would speak up for themselves
Oh
and
my
and
God.
and put and put little handcuffs on them. And so
What?
the other teacher that came in with me, another Black teacher, she said, "What are you doing? And why are you denying this kid his rights?" So, you know, the next year they politely wrote off all the new Black teachers they brought in. They told us that all our jobs were written off. You know, the Black kids were that wanted to be a part of any type of after school activity. They didn't get home till 9 p.m. at night. School ended at 2 p.m. But because they had one activity bus to take them back to the Black side of town, and the kids would have to stay there. After I would get out of school, I would pile as many kids that was humanly possible to get them back home. I would come to work with extra food because I knew those children were going to be there after school with no food. So I would use my little check, or I would buy pizza in the afternoon. I would do what I could to try to help the kids. Some of the kids were so angry, you could already see. I was like, listen, you gotta get rid of this, or you gotta move from this area because this is not going to change. So it was sad to see a school system set a kid up for jail, because that's how I felt. That's what I was seeing. You know, all because they wanted an equal, fair chance, and they didn't like for you to step up. I even
Mhm.
had another kid tell me during Black History Month, "Oh, I'm not doing Black History. I don't care what you say." I said, "It's okay. I mean, you know, it was written in my curriculum and it was approved by the school board. So, you know, I have to follow my protocols." The parent came in to beat me up and do all kinds of craziness. I was like, "Wow, is this how you teach your child?" I was really shocked and appalled at some of the behavior in 1994, and we were supposed to be integrated schools, and the
Exactly.
behavior of people was astounding. So that's how I got introduced into teaching in my first year teaching. You know, so
And
I had
who's
to
the
already
principal was
come
white or
in.
black?
The principal was white. No, I don't think they had any black heads of anything. No.
Whoa.
Yep.
So how different was the integration in Florida versus the Connecticut? Because I know you spent a lot of years in Connecticut.
Yeah, in Connecticut, I have not. They were a lot more freer and more integrated. They had a lot more blacks in positions of principals and head of schools and organizations, and they worked a heck of a lot different than Florida. You
Much better,
know,
right?
oh yeah, you know, and I appreciated they were standing up for the rights of the kids, and kids
Yes.
were starting to get more equal opportunities for things.
Yes.
You know, so it was a whole
Different
different.
ballgame.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You know, they treated the children with respect here.
Yes.
There, I didn't get that. I didn't get that. As a matter of fact, I remember coming together with the other minority teachers, and I said, do they disrespect your children at your school? How do they display? Now, I came down there with my sister, and we were coming from Gary, Indiana. We're from Gary, Indiana. So
Yes.
we were not accustomed to the behavior, the negativity. We were just not accustomed to any of that. It was
Yeah.
just like going to some, you know, almost like we were in another country. I could not believe all of this was going on, you know, and it made me fight for the children even more. It made me fight for their rights even more. It made me stand up as a citizen. And I was like, listen, I really don't care that I'm a teacher, because my first stance is to take care of these kids and make
Yes.
sure that they're able to learn and have the same equal due process that they're
Yes.
supposed to receive.
Hmm.
So, you know, that's how
Yes.
that went.
But how do you explain that? Because in Florida you have more minorities than in Connecticut. Florida is a bigger state in terms of population than
Florida,
Connecticut.
Florida, and I have visited even recently. You know, they may have made some changes in their schools, but Florida you know, you still need to get in at a certain hour before something else happens in
Wow.
Florida.
Wow.
So I don't,
Really?
you know, it's just I just don't trust that. I don't trust the systems.
Okay. So let us talk a little bit about music. You're a music teacher, and I'm curious about the benefit of music, the benefit of music in the growth process.
Yeah. Well, one thing about music is, I believe music is one of the most important aspects. Think about it. If you took time, I would love for people to challenge themselves and try to go one day without music. Just try it. Because you
Hmm.
know what's going to happen is you would try to cut out music in your home, but if you're going to watch TV, you got to cut it off because you're going to hear the music. If you're going to listen to a radio, even a talk show, you got to cut it off because there are intros and outros and music is still there. Even if you sit down in your home and you think it's silence, when you hear outside, you'll hear music in the air because music is something you cannot cut out. It's
Yes.
always there. It's
Yes.
something that you are you can be able to hear even before you are birthed into this world. If you took time to listen to music before you get here, your baby will have rhythm and soul even before they come out to the room, the
Yes.
womb, and don't even know. They may
Yeah.
not. And some of them are like prodigies. They can really just really go with it. And some of them just have the love of music, a music enthusiast. So it can help you accelerate in school. It can help you to calm down. And I hate to say it, but I read somewhere where it even deals with the sex drive.
Sex
So
drive.
yeah,
How,
yeah.
how is that?
I don't know. I don't. You got to do a little research with that. I
I
read
just
that.
want
I
to
was
know. I mean,
like,
I'm just asking. I don't know
I
anything
was
about
like,
it.
but I didn't know anything about it either. I just read it. I was like, music in your sex drive? Look that one up. Yeah, I looked that one up because I did read it. But I have to do a little bit more studying on that one because I was just, just checking all of the benefits of music is something that I have always used to for myself. Um, I love music so much until I used to study. But as I studied, I would use music. I would use freestyle rap to learn multiplication, to learn anything, understanding my states and capitals, understanding history, understanding any exams. I would look at the subject matter, and I will create music out of any subject matter. It did not matter. And even today, even today, when I'm teaching or if I'm substituting for something and I'm teaching a subject matter, I'll just say, give me a beat, and I'll just freestyle rap whatever it is I'm teaching. So they're always coming, oh, here she comes.
But
But that's the
do you think as a music teacher that music was able to reconcile or to tone down the race factor in interaction among students?
I believe. Say it again. You said, do I
Do
believe
you
what?
think music was able to tone down the race factor among students?
Music is able to turn down the race factor.
Yes,
Well,
among
one,
students.
I think that music is the bridge that brings us together, but it's also a divide when it goes to golden age music. I'll give you an example. I'm an
Yes,
actress. I'm an actress and a singer on Broadway,
yes.
and I do some off Broadway things.
Yeah, I know
But
we do a
if
lot of
you
Broadway.
if you look at some typing, if there's something called typing. So in the theater world, there isn't a lot of roles in music um, for minority. Golden age music, you see a lot of servants, you see a lot of blackface,
Mhm.
or you see a lot of like secondary roles, but you never saw them at the head as the head actress. Now, in the 20th century, in the millennium state, you start to see as the directors change and you start to have more minority directors and actors, you then start to see us come into the forefront. Now, recently, since they've started this Black Lives Matter movement, all of a sudden it's been a black girls' playground. I have been called for more shows. I've turned them down for right now, but I've been called for more things now than ever before. Ever before. They didn't even have roles for me before. Now, all of a sudden, it's tons of roles because people are now making movies that put us in the forefront, not just Denzel Washington and Idris Elba, but other people, other factors, skinny, fat, freckles and short, tall, matter. It doesn't matter. They're starting to see you for who you are. I believe it's probably more prominent in the more artistic community because my mission for my nonprofit is diversity, bringing us together on one platform and breaking down the barriers of all social economic levels to bring art to the stage. Don't look at how much is in my pocket. Look at the content of my character. Look at what I could do. This is what I really, really want people to see. If we could start to only see the Red Sea, and be able to see the work that the people do, then it will really change how we react, respond, and we can create the love of music together.
Interesting. But how are you doing in terms of your mission? Do you think people are buying into it?
I do believe that there are some that are buying into it. I do believe that there is still a barrier when it comes to trying to put on these plays and platforms. You have to understand it takes money. I don't care where the money is coming from, but it does take money. And when you hear people say to me, "Oh, I don't want to pay for them," what them? Because I am them. So what them are you talking about? So I had to create the nonprofit so I can be able to get the grants to be able to pay for those who could not afford, and let those who can afford pay their fare, and let the grant pay for those other children who can't. So when we get onto the stage and we have these various shows, what I love about it is the minority kids understanding that they are minorities, realize, listen, I can't allow someone else to be a greater actor than me. I have to bring up my game and make sure that I'm also an equivalent actor, if not better. And it makes them excited, and it showcases their talent, so the other person can now see just how good that person is.
All right. So now you are in Connecticut. I know you are somewhere in Fairfield.
Who, me?
Yes.
We're Milford.
You're in Milford, okay. But listen, if you ever want to have something in Greenwich or Connecticut or Stanford, I can connect you to someone that can get you some funding too.
Right. So we're all over the state. The office.
But you're not in Greenwich.
Yeah, we're all over the state. We've been working inside the Greenwich Public Schools and the Parks and Recreation. So that's where we're working right now. And we're offering programs to the public library. So we're everywhere. We're everywhere offering these programs, especially in Stanford. We are working with them. That's one of our partners. Working with Parks and Recreation in Stanford to offer programs so we can be able to get the children the quality program needed. So we need to work with them so we can make sure that there's a good balance of kids in the program. The program, not just minority. You ever notice that we don't like competing against ourselves? I know what you can do, but I don't know what Susie can do.
Yes.
I want to compete with Susie because Susie, I don't know what she can do. So that intrigues me to make me want to do something a little different because that's a different person that I'm not accustomed to.
Yes. Now I want to touch on something different out of music, and I'm a little curious about your experience with the Black born in Africa residing in the USA versus the Black born in the USA. I want you to assess the collaboration. What is the perception of the Black born in the USA about the ones coming from Africa like me? Because I've been in some groups where I heard some African American talking about us from the motherland. So I wonder what is in your mind about that.
So let me see if I understand your question so I can be able to answer it well. Your question is, how does blacks in America look at blacks from Africa?
Yes. Simple question.
Okay, okay. So based on for some, I don't know, it's you know what? It's like the black and white thing. When you look at, no, I'm so serious. I'm like,
Sure. You're right.
you're black, and you black. Now what you complaining about? What the problem?
Exactly.
I'm a little goofy, y'all, but I have no idea of why they feel like someone that's not an American is a second class citizen because they weren't born in America, as if they don't have the same rights. And I think I don't think it's fair. You know, I feel that however way you got over here, so let it be. We are all here. And while we're here, now we need to be able to create unity amongst ourselves. But we create more chaos among ourselves with the, oh, okay, well, you black Latin, or you black Cuban, or you black Mexican, or you black African. You know, you get a lot of chaos with that. And I'm
Yes.
like, well, what's the argument about, and what we supposed to be doing here in the first place? You know, you're so busy fighting amongst yourselves, creating a small civil war, when you need to really be looking at what the real problem is, so we can work together to deflect that issue.
True. True. But do you think there is hope for a better collaboration? Because I can assure you that my experience is a little bizarre. You know, Ida, we have somebody watching us, Ida, from somewhere in America. She said all blacks should unite or perish.
I agree.
She has the point, eh?
I agree. Because can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
When a cop comes up to your car, they don't try to figure out if you black anything. You black, they just immediately stereotype you.
Exactly.
Immediately stereotype you. They don't care where you're from. They start stereotyping you. Right now, I'm working on a project that I'm writing a grant on. It's called Scream Out Loud, Don't Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
This is them looking at someone maybe in a neighborhood that they don't think that that person is supposed to be in, and immediately stereotype that person as if they're intruding on the neighborhood when they literally could be living there, or they're with someone. And instead of them seeing what's happening or seeing what's going on, they're taking their time to be able to find some kind of negativity or play on the character or of the minority person. You know that's completely wrong.
Yes.
But immediately, I'll never forget. I was driving down the highway, and I was speeding a little, but I knew that you can't go over a certain amount, and so it's going to be called reckless driving. So I knew not to go over that amount. But now you got to remember, I'm a black girl, single, in a car by myself. A white cop pulls me over, and then immediately, ma'am, I need to see your license and your driver's license. And then, ma'am, you was going 85 in the 70 mile. As soon as they say that, when I say no, I wasn't, and I'm gonna sit here and argue with him, who do you think they're gonna believe, me or him?
Probably him.
No, I have no chance. I have no chance, and it's sad to think that way. When I should say, "Are you sure?" Allow me to get out of my car to see what you see, because I would like to see you show me the evidence that I really was going that fast when a big semi truck was on the same side as you and I was going the same speed as he was, but yet you seem to saw me, but you didn't see that big 18-wheeler that was right in your path. So, they don't see that, but they were so quick to tell you that they want you to pay the $400 court fee for a $40 ticket. Don't get it.
It's
That
strange.
but it is serious racism in America. It is serious.
Absolutely. Ida is from Florida. She's saying she wrote a statement here. She says that happened to my son driving my car from a basketball game. They asked for his ID and double asked him if he lives at the address in his license because he can't be living in that neighborhood. Sad
So
reality.
true.
Yes.
So true. How
Yeah.
they gonna tell? How they gonna tell you where you're supposed to be living? That's the frustrating. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now you gonna
Exactly.
tell me where I'm supposed to live and what I should be
Exactly.
driving. Oh no, and don't be driving a nice car. Oh, you stole that. That's my
Exactly.
car. Oh,
But
then you did it from drugs. So that's
true.
what you think of me? You think that I'm a drug dealer and that I can't have a decent car.
It
You
is
know,
strange.
that's sad. They don't think that people work and that they can have something in life. You know, that's why, you know, when I look at Harry and Meghan, I said to myself, wow, those poor kids will be stereotyped for the rest of their life. Good
Yes.
thing that parents pulled them out so they can be able to have some type of quality of life so they can be happy.
Yes. Yes. But I was a little shocked when Megan made a statement that she at some point she wanted to take her life away. And I happen to believe that no one should even think about taking their life away, no matter what happened, because the life was given to us. We are not the owner of our lives. So we cannot take a final result. We cannot make a final decision to a temporary situation.
You
I was
know
a little
what?
shocked.
When you're looking at, just imagine Megan in that caste society. It's a
Yes,
it's a prison within itself. Certain
you can
things
say
you
that.
got to do, certain things you don't do, certain things you say. Do you ever watch? What is the name of that show? Not Crowns. Crowns is one of them. I've never seen that one, but it's another show that shows the caste society. Oh my gosh, I cannot think of that show. I watch it all the time. I love it. It comes on PBS.
I don't watch PBS, so I don't watch
I
TV that
can't
much.
think of the name of that stuff, but
I'll be the last person to tell you.
it's a little society where, you know, they're all, you know, certain ways that they're doing things, and that the maids don't coagulate with the actual people that's in the house. They're only supposed to be servants, and they have to
Mhm.
act a certain way, and these types of things. So and so now it's, I want you to do this, and I want you to do that, and I want you to do this. So she coming from America, where the land of the free, home of the brave, to go into
Yes,
something like that. And it's like, I'm not a slave. I don't want to look like this. I don't want
yes,
to live like this. Well, if I got to
yes,
live like this, I might as well die, because that's how
yes,
crazy it was. That's how much of her life they were taking from her.
yes,
Yeah, postpartum depression. Yeah,
yes, yes. So now,
that's sad.
Ida has a question for you. Stevie Wonder is moving to Ghana in Africa.
Mhm.
She wondering what you think about it.
What I think about Stevie Wonder moved to Ghana? Stevie
Yes,
Wonder moved to Ghana? He did?
yes, he moved to Ghana.
That's good. See,
Huh?
Stevie Wonder's a cool cat anyway. I mean, I think that's good. Matter of fact, I want to even go check out Ghana. Not only just that, but I want to just go over. And I've heard so much about Africa. I done got my passport, and I got clients all over the world now. I am looking forward to being able to travel and be able to see, because I have seen so much. It makes me proud when I go and I see things. I love
But
to see Black people
let me
excited and
let me tell you
flourishing.
this. Let me share this story with you. I have some Black American friends that are moving to Africa because they can have many wives. They can have like 4 or 5 wives,
I say,
and that's
God,
what they
what?
want. Polygamy is allowed over there. So I don't
You know
know.
what?
Maybe that's why
See,
Stevie Wonder is moving down there. Who knows? I don't know.
let me tell
In
you about
Ghana,
Black
in Ghana,
American women. We ain't tolerating that.
In
the
Ghana,
big chop. No. No.
in Ghana, he can get himself 10 beautiful young women, and it's legal. You know, same thing in Cameroon.
You
So
know
most of
what?
my friends are
They
moving back to
need
Africa.
to bring them beautiful young women over to America. By the time they get to get through with the freedom, they'll be like, "Oh no, one of us is all you need." We not playing that. That's why Tiger Woods was with another color with all them people. Nobody
Okay,
know.
we'll see.
No.
I think that's one of the reasons, but we'll see.
Just imagine a woman with 5 husbands. We might have one for.
Yes, you can have that in Africa.
No, you can't. Can you?
No, you can. Of course, you can. No, yeah,
That's too much.
no, it's not
All
against
of
the
the
law.
behaviors, all of them, that drive somebody crazy.
No, it's not
No.
against the law. I mean, as long as the men consent, as long as they are comfortable with it, we don't care. In America, the law will care, but in Africa, there is no law. We don't give a damn
No.
about anything.
Because America know that folk will kill you around here. We are not tolerating that crazy. No. They'll tell you, they'll be like, you want
Okay.
what? Oh no, you better go divorce me and find somebody
Let's get
else.
back to music. But this is the point. Now, you are open to teach music international, to teach people how to use their vocals, right? You do that.
Correct, of course.
So I want people here to know about it. That Babs, you can contact me. I'll be getting Babs here like once every 2 weeks so that we can talk about music and talk about what is going on with her organizations. She has a few corporations out there, and she's doing very well. Also, you sing on Broadway.
Yeah, I debuted on Broadway in 2006. So I've been doing a lot of the off-Broadway shows.
Yes.
They call them on Broadway. They come into New York City. I live in New York City. They come into New York City and they do like a cast calls for different shows. And then they take us off to these different states. And we perform in all these different states. Really cool. You know, different
Very
shows.
nice.
I mean, I've done Hairspray like 4 times, I believe.
Yes. So I don't want you to travel to Africa.
Yes, I
Right?
do. Yes.
So you have a lot of people to welcome you down there. Okay. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very nice. All right.
Yes.
So listen, this was our first show. I just wanted to have you talk to the Cameroonian community. You see, I don't have a lot of people because my audience is Frenchy. Most of the people listening to me speak French. So when I turn into English, they go away.
Yeah,
But,
that's when they have to turn on those interpreters.
Yes. I will probably consider that down the road. But is there anything that you think people should know about you, Barbara, and how to contact you if they want to learn about music, how to develop your voice?
If anyone wants to be able to learn how to speak well, how to articulate, use their emotions, pitch inflections, be able to understand your vocal tonality, then I am the right person for you. I have Babs, the International Vocal Coach. My YouTube channel is International Vocal Coach. Babs International Vocal Coach. You'll find me there under the Performing Arts Academy of Connecticut, which is my LLC. And you can contact me at babs@internationalvocalcoach.com.
Very nice.
And my website is internationalvocalcoach.com.
Absolutely. And you can also contact me if you are not able to see what Babs is telling you about, because I'm in touch with her. So I'll be able to give you the right direction, everyone. So, Babs, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure. We spent 49 minutes together.
Yes, thank you.
I really
Thank you
appreciate
for
the time.
having me. I enjoyed that. I really did. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate the time. So I will get you back in studio and I will kiss goodbye to everyone watching us, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Barbara.
having me, and thank you, everyone. And we look forward to speaking with you again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure sharing this little time with Babs and yourself. I just wanted to bring out a person that can add value to your talent, that can add value to your love, that can add value to your gift. Music is critical. Music is an important part of our life. We need to learn how to sing. We need to learn how to speak. We need to know how to harmonize our vocal to our physique so that people can get the message. People can trust the message that we are bringing to them. So I have to thank you for your time. It was a pleasure and privilege to spend this time with you. And Ida, thank you very much for participating, for all your contribution. Coach Ida, she's a parent coach. That's an area that she's specializing in. Thank everyone.